So I thought it'd be a good idea to bring on my financial coach today. And stop it. Stop it. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you a little bit about my financial journey and if you should get a financial coach in 2021. I've been using my financial coach for the past few years, but most recently in this past year, I've made the most progress. I just think it's so important to have a financial coach to help you and guide you on your financial journey. My financial coach, Jimmy, has helped me save thousands of dollars in just a short amount of time. And I actually was able to live off of that for 5 months without receiving any income or unemployment during this pandemic. I think it's so important for people to take control of their finances and to be financially independent and financially stable. There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to a financial coach slash financial advisor slash financial planner. People assume that they are super expensive, that they make too little to have a financial coach, and that they just can't do it. So I thought it would be a really good idea to bring on my financial coach so you guys could hear from him firsthand kind of what is a financial coach, is there a difference between a financial coach and a financial planner, and to have him share some of his tips and tricks with you guys. I will also link all of his information down below, so I highly recommend you check out his website, sign up for a free 15-minute consultation. He is amazing, and again, honestly, I don't know how I would have gotten through this year without him. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more videos from me. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. Oh, and I apologize in advance for the bad quality. We don't live in the same state, so we have to do a Zoom call to make this video, but trust me, the content out of it, worth it. Let's go. Thank you so much for coming on and talking to me and talking to the viewers, Jimmy. So can you just tell us a little bit about your business, what it is that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, thank you for inviting me to be a part of this. This is super awesome, super exciting. Yeah, so a little bit about me. I got my degree in finance and then I pursued a career in investments and then shifted to financial planning. I soon learned that the financial planning industry is tailored towards the wealthy and helping the wealthy manage their investments. And I became really passionate about helping individuals who aren't necessarily where they want to be, who need help establishing the foundations of budgeting, savings, debt. That's what I became passionate about. So, on the side, in addition to my career, I do financial coaching on the side, helping people establish that foundation.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so I asked some of my friends and family some questions that if they were going to think about getting a financial coach or financial planner, what kind of things would they want to know? So I'm just gonna read off some questions and maybe you can just give us some of your advice.
Yeah, sure thing.
So, what would you say? What is a financial coach, financial planner? Is there a difference?
Yeah, so a financial coach, I think the best analogy for a financial coach is it's basically a personal trainer for your money. Think of, going to the gym, hiring a personal trainer there. A personal trainer essentially helps you identify and clarify your fitness and health goals. They map out a plan on how you're going to achieve those, and then they provide a system to do it and provide accountability, helping you stick to the system, helping people to taking action. That's essentially what a financial coach does. A financial coach helps you identify and clarify your financial goals. They help map out a plan to achieve them. They provide you a system to stick to it, and they provide the accountability, helping ensure you take the action. So that kind of sums up what a financial coach is and what a financial coach does for you.
That's a good analogy. I never thought of it that way, but that's actually really clever and,
Yeah,
and easy to
I hadn't
understand too.
I hadn't heard that. I made that up myself, so I'll take credit for that.
I love it. um, okay. Would you say that financial planners or financial coaches are expensive? Because when I remember when I started to look, I ran into the dilemma that some of them were super expensive. They wanted like a down payment, and then they wanted a certain amount of money every month and a certain percent of your assets.
Yeah, great question. So I'm gonna break this one up into two questions because first I want to clarify what the difference is between a financial coach and a financial planner. Now, in the industry, my career has been in the financial planning industry. What I'm doing here on the side is financial coaching. So, what a financial planner does is they work with the high income earners, they work with the wealthy to help them manage their money. When people are in this high income category, they have this high wealth, their finances become very complex with investments and taxes and real estate. So essentially, financial planners typically work with people who are already financially successful to better manage their wealth. They make their funds, they make their money through either selling very expensive whole life insurance products, which are not recommended, um, or they make their money by managing your investments. So they'll typically have a minimum amount you have to invest with them, usually 100,000 to 500,000. If you don't, they charge a hefty monthly fee, can be several $100s a month or a couple $1,000s a year to work with a financial planner. A financial coach is typically works with those who are not yet financially successful, lower incomes, little to no money to invest. They focus on helping individuals establish the solid financial foundation to build upon: emergency funds, credit card debt, student loan debt, saving for a house down payment. Um, Really, financial coaches help change your the goal of the financial coach is to help change your financial trajectory. Most people coming into a financial coach are inching their way progress. They're not making much progress in savings, they're not making much progress in debt, or worst case scenario, they're making negative progress. A financial coach helps shift that trajectory through helping them get better at budgeting, coming up with a plan, providing accountability. So that's the difference between a financial planner, a financial coach. A financial coach is significantly cheaper. You don't have to have any money to invest. It's basically a fee only. Um, and so that we'll go into the second question is, are they expensive? So first off, financial planners are expensive cost wise. Financial coaches significantly cheaper, but I also want to break this part into 2 points. First, I want to address the difference between an expense versus an investment. With an expense, when you buy something that is an expense, that money is gone forever. It's never going to come back to you. With an investment, you put that money down, but that money is not gone. It actually comes back to you and it brings a return 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. Think of investing in the stock market. When you put money in the stock market, that money's not gone forever. That's not an expense. You're investing it. It's going to grow over time. So financial coaches, um, one of the unique things about spending money on a financial coach is it is an investment because they help you keep more, save more, pay off debt faster, and invest more. When you work with a good financial coach, you can see the amount of savings growing 2 times, 5 times, 10 times. You can pay down debt 10 times faster, save 10 times on the amount of interest you would have paid on your current plan for debt. So, first of all, I would like to say that hiring a financial coach is less an expense and more an investment, because you will see those returns right away. The second part is, what can you expect a financial coach to cost? Most financial coaches range anywhere from 80 to I've seen as high as $200 a session. The most expensive coaches I've seen are ones signed up through the Dave Ramsey program. They're roughly $200 per 1 hour session. I purposefully offer my coaching session on the cheaper end, cheaper than anyone else that I have come across at $50 a session, because I'm passionate about helping more people, and I know that price can be a barrier, or can be hard for some people. So that's kind of what you can expect as far as what a financial planner costs and what a financial coach costs.
Actually, I love everything you just said, and I want to kind of just quickly go back to the investment piece because when I was first starting on my financial journey, I did see it as like, oh my gosh, I'm playing, what am I doing with all this money? I have all this money in my checking, and now I'm losing all that money, or it's going into savings. I don't have that as extra to spend. But you're right when you say it is an investment because I look back on my savings now and I'm like, wow, came so far. Like I could live for 6 months with no income now, which I couldn't do on day one of starting my journey. So definitely would agree it's an investment, something that is 100% worth it.
You're a prime example of seeing like a return. You spent this much money on financial coaching, but you've seen your savings grow this much, and the trajectory. The other thing that here's the cool thing about a financial coach as well is it doesn't just end when you stop working with a financial coach. The goal of a financial coach isn't to keep you relying on them for the rest of your life. Their goal is really, with the analogy, give a man a fish, feed them for a day, teach them to fish. A financial coach is really teaching you and empowering you. So over the next year or 2 years, or however long it is, you are much more self-sufficient, much better at managing your money, so that you no longer really need the hand holding of the financial coach, and you're set to sail. So it's not just an investment on the present, it's really changing your financial trajectory moving forward.
When you start thinking about getting a financial coach or financial planner, what kind of information or how much information do you have to share with them?
It's a great question. So there's a big difference in the amount of information you share with a financial planner versus a financial coach. A financial planner really does a much deeper dive into much more complex finances. They said they're helping you with figuring out things for taxes, figuring out your investments. A lot more information gets shared with a financial planner. With a financial coach, since you're just focusing on the basics of budgeting, savings, debt, there's really no sensitive information that needs to be shared with a financial coach. You don't need to share any account numbers. You don't need to link accounts. You don't need to share social security numbers. It's really just the basic information that I gather from my clients is I do a questionnaire that gathers kind of their goals and how they're feeling about their money, how they're feeling about where they're at and where they want to be. I've got a tool that where they put in all of the balances of checkings, credit cards, investments, and other debts, so that I can analyze where are they at today with these things and map out a plan to make progress there. And then the other thing is just your budgeting information. What is your income? Like, what's your take home pay? What are your bills, your expenses, your debt minimums? To figure out how much we have to be working with. And that's really the extent of the information you need to share with the financial coach.
So, if you are thinking about getting a financial coach and you don't have a lot of income, is that the right path for you? I guess people kind of want to know, is that a good choice if you're not making a ton of income?
That's a good question. I think a lot of people have the idea that they need to be making a lot of money to be able to spend the money to better manage that money. And to put that into yeah, I was going to try and come up with an analogy. I would just say basically waiting until you're already in great physical shape to hire a personal trainer. The goal of a personal trainer isn't to work with people who are already in great physical shape. It's to work with people who are not where they want to be, and they help them get there. So, with hiring a financial coach, when you don't have a lot of income, I would say that if you don't have a lot of income and you manage the income that you do have really well, then absolutely you don't need a financial coach. However, I would say that if you don't have a lot of income and you don't manage that money very well, that is actually one of the best times to hire a financial coach. And the reason for that is when your income is small and you learn to manage that money really well, which a financial coach can help you do, you are creating a foundation so that when your income grows, you already have the habits and the plan in place to maximize your higher incomes. So that's I prefer working with people that are at the very start of their careers, making the lowest amount that they're going to be making. Their income's only going to grow because there's really a compounding effect with um, you may only be able to make a little bit of progress on the current income, but you're establishing the habits for when your income is higher. So I would say that that kind of sums that up. If you're not making the income, you're good at your money, no need for a coach. If you're not good at managing your money, a financial coach can really help you not only make that stretch, but you can start making progress and building a foundation for your future.
That's great. And also, I wanted just to add like my own little personal experience. When we first met, I was working for Burberry and I was making okay money, but not the most money I've ever made. And being able to see how I can budget that amount of money and then taking a new job a few months later, making a lot more money, but still being able to live off of the budget I had before and being able to put all that extra money into savings, just knowing that if I hadn't had a financial coach, I would have thought, oh, I'm making so much extra money. Let me just go spend it on random things. Oh, I have all this money. I can go buy more handbags or more clothes. And it's like, no, no, no. I don't really need to live off of that amount. I can live off of this smaller amount. I was living off of it perfectly fine and still saving. But now with, a larger income, being able to say, you know what, I can still just put that away and have more to save. So I think, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that you brought that up. The default reaction, here's typically what happens is when people's income goes up, their initial thing is I can now buy all of the things that I have been wanting but haven't felt like I could afford. They immediately raise their lifestyle, so their ability to save with the higher income doesn't actually get any better. And that's where a financial coach can help you learn to live off of whatever your salary you're at right now, make that stretch, and then help you when you have that jump, that lifestyle jump, your income goes up 10, 20, 30,000. They can help you avoid the tendency to raising your lifestyle 30,000 so that you can be putting in 10, 20, $30,000 more a year towards your goals.
So, what age do you feel like is a good time to start inquiring about getting a financial coach?
It's a good question. So, with a financial coach, I would say once you are, I wouldn't even say you have to be living on your own. I know people that are, I've worked with clients that are working with their parents. They're living with their parents or their grandparents. Their bills are very, very minimal. Their income's not high, but because their expenses are so low, um, I would say honestly, any age, probably anytime after high school. I've worked with people as young as 19 and as old as into their, you know, 70s. Um, so I would say for a financial coach, any age is fine. For a financial planner, if you were looking for a financial planner, at what point would you consider working with them? I would say age is less of a threshold for working with a financial planner and more a what is your financial status? So if you're a high income earner, probably 250,000 household income, um, you can consider working with a financial planner. Or if you have a high net worth of investments, like a million plus, those would be scenarios where you would your situate your taxes will be higher, investment strategy will start to become more complex, that you would start to look at may start to look at working with a financial planner.
Can you tell us a little bit more about like the services that you offer?
Yeah, so my service, I basically have two services. Number one, I work with two types of people. I work with people who are already good at budgeting, who are already very good at managing that. They've got good behaviors. They're not overspending. They're not in credit card debt. They have some savings, but they need a little bit of clarity with their direction early in your career. When you're just starting out, there's so many competing financial goals, whether it's saving for an emergency fund, saving for a car, or paying down a car, saving for a house down payment, saving for a retirement. um, there's so many different things we could be doing that we get scattered. We don't really know what to focus on, and as a result, we don't really do much of anything. So one of my services is basically a single session financial strategy plan where we basically we'll take a look at your budget and we'll map out a plan for emergency funds, credit card debt if you have it, other debt, and a map to get on track for retirement. The other service that I have is for individuals who maybe struggle more with the managing of their money. They struggle with budgeting. They are not on top of their finances. They feel disorganized, they feel overwhelmed, and they feel stressed. This is what I call the financial implementation plan, where it's basically a 3-session package. And I meet 3 months back to back for an hour. And we help you first get super clear on your goals and on your budget. Then we get super clear with a plan to tackle your savings and debt. And then third, we'll map out what it looks like to be on track for retirement. And in the meantime, every session, we basically reevaluate your budget because I've learned that when people set a budget the first time, it never ends up going the way that they think it will be. So basically, the goal of the 3 months is to help you feel comfortable and confident with your ability to make and stick with a budget. And then from there, I do quarterly check-in sessions, which is basically just making sure we set a plan, we set you on track, and we do a quarterly check-in to make sure you're still on track or making course adjustments along the way. So those are the two services. The different packages. The one package is for the single session is $79 for one session. For the 3-session package, it's $149 for the 3 sessions, breaking down to $50 a session.
Perfect. That's really good to know. So before we go, can you give us your top 3 tips for saving in 2021?
Yeah, I'll say the first thing that helped me, and just so you know, background, I was not always good with money. I actually used to be terrible with money. I was never taught money as a kid. I was never taught how to manage it. So I was really bad with money. And that's one of the reasons why I spent a ton of time reading books, learning about this, became super passionate about it, eventually made it my career. But the first thing that really helped me was opening up what's called an online high yield savings account. Basically, so this would be my first recommendation, is to open a high yield savings account for your emergency fund. A couple of reasons for that. You never want to keep your emergency fund at the same banking institution as your checking account, because psychologically we found that it's if it's there when you check your money that's available for spending, because that money is just instantly transferable, we treat that money as it's available to spend. It's very, very easy to dip into it. By opening up a high yield savings account at a separate institution, it creates a barrier, and it allows you to put that money out of sight, out of mind. It psychologically becomes unspendable money. It becomes money that we don't touch, and we allow it to grow. So once you do that, you're going to find it is much, much easier to build your savings when you open up an account separate from your current checking account. Another benefit to it is they pay like 100 times the interest rates as your regular banks do. Basically, banks don't pay any interest on your savings accounts. And these online banks pay anywhere. It varies with what the government sets the rates at. Right now, they're paying about 0.5%, but they've been as high as 2.5%. That's not going to make you a millionaire, but it's something that your money is actually working for you. So that's tip number 1, is opening up a high yield savings account for your emergency fund. A couple great options are Ally, Wealthfront, or Betterment. All great options. I've personally used Ally for over 7 years, so that's usually the one that I suggest. Number two is to set a clear target for your emergency fund goal. It's not very motivating if there's nothing that you're aiming for, there's not a specific goal. So I would say set a goal and set a time frame for when you want to achieve it. So whether your emergency fund goal is 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, set a dollar amount, set a time limit for when you want to achieve that, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And then three is set a monthly dollar amount that you're going to transfer into it. And then set that to be on autopilot. So every month you can create auto transfers into these accounts for $50, $100, $500, whatever that is. I would say the third goal is to plan in advance what you're going to do with your windfalls and the extra money that comes. Everybody gets extra money that comes in outside of their paycheck throughout the year, whether it's a bonus, or tax refund or stimulus checks if there's a worldwide pandemic.
Like,
Or like right now. Plan in advance what you're going to do with it. Most people it becomes all spendable money. So what I would say is the rule that I like is an 80-20 rule. So whatever extra money you're going to get throughout the year, I would follow the 80-20 rule. 20% of it is extra money for you to spend. It's extra fun money you can spend on whatever you want. And the other 80% of it is going to go towards your goals. That is going to massively, massively fast track how much progress you make towards your goals. I've seen people that are only able to save $50, $100 a month, but then they get several $1,000s from a tax refund or several thousand somewhere else. And suddenly that's like 2 years worth of savings that they were able to do in one jump. So I would say those are probably the three biggest tips to saving for 2021.
thank you so much for joining me on this call and sharing your knowledge and your tips and tricks to saving. I will link all of Jimmy's information again down below, so don't forget to check out his website.
Yeah, honestly, Mia, it's super awesome being a honey here. Thank you so much. One, it's been super amazing working with you over the past few years and seeing the amount of progress you've been able to make. Thank you for allowing me to be part of this video. And anybody who watches this, feel free to just reach out to me, ask me any questions. I do free consultations, so you can chat with me to see how I might be able to help you. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can schedule a consult or just email me directly. A lot of people, especially once you get into the professional world, most people, when they think of help with their finances, they think financial planners. But that's not really what they need. What they need help with is a financial coach for most of them.
That was literally me with my mom. Like, I need a financial planner. My mom, like, Googling, researching these financial planners. They're like, okay, we need $3,000 down payment. Then you're going to have to pay us $300 a month. Plus, I get 0.1% of your assets. And I'm like, I don't even have assets. So, like,
Yeah.
giving them more money than I'm actually getting. My mom's like, okay, well, I'll help you pay for it. I'm like, we're paying for what though? Like, what are we paying for?
What are they like? What are they doing for me for that money? Like, they're mapping out a plan for the assets that I don't have. Like,
Exactly.
So
I think it's helpful to know that a financial coach is completely different than a financial planner. And a financial coach is there to help you grow, and they're not there to take your money. They're not there to just manage over your assets, and they're there to coach you and to talk to you and to be a support system. So I just think it's really important for everyday people to know about. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was informative and you got something out of it. Again, I will leave Jimmy's information down below. Don't forget to check out his website and sign up for your free 15-minute consultation with him. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.